Hello there and welcome to Galaxy of Legends. In today's video we will be discussing
Price, to be sure, but a welcome one.
Let's take a look at our beloved classics remake.
We face the greatest Sith in generations. They must be stopped.
So to start off, I think that the fact that we are getting a KOTOR remaster is absolutely amazing. Just imagine what locations like Manaan and the Unknown World will look like in today's graphics. Exploring the tombs of Korriban and facing off against Malak. This is a literal dream come true for us KOTOR fans, and really a breath of fresh air to the current state of Star Wars. But I think it would be best to first look at the facts that we know about the current state of things, and examine if this game will really be our savior. First things first, we need to ask if this remake will just be the same story but with better graphics, gameplay mechanics and all those fancy things, or if it will be done in a way as to fit within the new canon established by Disney. And this really scares me a lot, because the KOTOR games are currently not canon, and the fact that we are getting a remake really makes me nervous about the actual contents of the game. I'm all for new ideas and all that, but a classic like this should stay untouched in my opinion. I don't want to sound unappreciative or anything like that, I'm just worried. For starters, if it is the same story as we got in Legends, which is the original game itself, then it's awesome. But if the story will try to tie itself to the new canon, then I am afraid many people will be disappointed by that. Let's take a look on why we should be a little afraid. Number 1. The Mandalorian Wars. The event itself is canon, but that's it, nothing more, because of the decanonization by Disney in 2012. The only thing that we know for sure is that they happened, but we don't know when, or what the conflict was like. The only depiction that we have is from the wall art from the planet Mandalore, as seen in the Clone Wars. This gives me hope, because it can be done so that it is the same as in the original game. However, things only get worse from here. Much worse, I think. Number 2. The second thing we know from current canon about the timeline in which the game is set in is the planet Malachor, or as we know it from KOTOR and KOTOR 2. Malachor 5. Thanks to Rebels TV show, we get our first canon appearance of this important world. But as epic as the episodes that were featured and were, it really hurt KOTOR. The most important thing to note is that in current canon, Malachor is still there, but we all know it was destroyed at the end of KOTOR 2, and obviously looked different. But artistic choices aside, the story and importance of the planet are completely different in Legends and canon. So, unless this is meant to be different Malachor, something like Malachor 1, which I doubt, then it is a big problem if the creators decide to go this route. In Legends, as in the original game, Malachor 5 was a place of the final battle between the Mandalorians and the Republic. Led by Revan, the planet was devastated by a mass shadow generator, a weapon designed to make use of Malachor's gravity that crushed every combatant in and around atmosphere, Mandalorian, Republic and Jedi alike. Malachor's surface was transformed into a barren, shattered and lifeless wasteland. All of Revan's enemies were eliminated in a single stroke. The planet was left scarred from the battle as the surface had been obliterated. And then, in KOTOR 2, it was the birthplace of Darth Nihilus and a wound in the Force. But this is very, very different to how it's depicted in canon, unfortunately. In canon, Malachor was a place of great battle between Jedi and Sith, so already we see that the conflict itself is different. Mandalorians have been changed to Sith, and yet another super weapon that fires a huge laser was placed there, as if it wasn't enough of them. This is the biggest change to KOTOR's story, if they do it this way, and I'm afraid they will, because of new canon. And number 3, the lightsabers. From the teaser that we saw, it seems that the lightsabers in this remake will remain standard, but as we saw in Twilight of the Apprentice in Rebels, the conflict between Jedi and Sith on Malachor was fought with crossguard lightsabers. So, unless they forgot about it, if this remake is going to be set in the new canon and its lore, the sabers should be crossguards. So these are my thoughts and mostly my worries about the KOTOR remake. I don't want to sound negative, especially if it's Star Wars related, but I really am worried about how this is gonna turn out. KOTOR games are my childhood, and I am sure most of you can relate to this. I just want the game to have the same story as it was, and not attempt to connect everything to the new canon. But what are your thoughts on this? I would like to hear your opinions on this. Please tell me in the comments down below. I will be grateful for any feedback. Until then, may the Force be with you everyone, and remember,
There's always a bit of truth in legends.